My name is Emily, I am an animator, and welcome to my animated story project called Lorelei. This video is a part 3, so I will link the playlist with all the videos in the description down below. With all the needed information provided, let's get into the animator's cut. Animator's process. What do you create and why? What do you want to make? And why do you want to make that? Does your project have any meaning to you? Or does it only mean something to someone else? These are important questions to ask oneself before making something, especially when making something that will take a lot of time and effort. Of course, when working for someone else, like a client, these questions might not fully apply. But let's say you work for yourself. What would you want to make? I had to answer these questions myself as well. For most of my academic career as a student, I have often made things for other people, whether that be for the assignment itself or through working in a team. My opinion didn't matter. That's what I told myself. Just do as you need to do, and you'll get through the years. In any other situation, that probably would have worked, but not at the academy that I attend. I had to ask myself these questions over and over again, and even in year 4, as I was preparing my graduation project, I had to ask these questions yet again. So, what did I want to make? I started out quite practical. I wanted to make a project that I could continue even after I graduated, to keep my portfolio up to date as I would be moving through a next stage in my life. However, with just that, you won't make a project that you feel passionate about and will keep you motivated. So eventually, after brainstorming and discussing my ideas, I came to the conclusion that above anything else, I wanted to create stories. In these early stages, I felt rather lost. I had so many ideas, but nothing truly sparked passion and motivation, except for a singular art I had created. The very first sketch of Lorelei inspired me to the moon and back. For I love vampire lore. Their myths, legends, and history in so many cultures is so intriguing to me. It makes me wonder how one would even try to live whilst being so close to the edge of death every moment of their lives, but also being so far away from actually crossing the river Styx. I can't imagine how mentally difficult that must be, and thus following a character going through so much sadness and anger by being in a position they never asked for was something that sparked passion and even allowed me to improve how I write characters. Something I also wanted to do. And so, what I wanted to make changed again. Now I wanted to create an engaging story with an intriguing protagonist that you could all follow along, allowing you to speculate along the way on what would happen next. All the while, I allowed for yet another passion of mine to shine through: creating an animator's cut. It's a lot easier to just make a story. I found it important that if I was to take anyone on a ride through a story, I might as well explain how I go through the story as well, but from the artist's perspective. I know the young me would have loved to know the ins and outs of storytelling and animation, especially if I could see it like a director's cut, going through all the stages a project goes through before it becomes the end result. I had to make do with James Baxter showing off how he illustrated Spirit. A highly recommended video to watch if it's online though. As we are slowly nearing the end of Lorelei's story, at least the part that I want and am able to tell for now, I look back at my what I want and am finally able to answer it properly. I want to create an engaging and visually pleasing story about a magic-using vampire that is trying to survive. Whilst creating that story, I want to bring viewers along for several videos on how I, as the artist, go through the whole process. From Lorelei's backstory, the research that something like this includes, to the actual making process. Perhaps this will help anyone feel inspired or have a better idea of how a process like this could go. Furthermore, I'd like to use this opportunity to improve writing engaging characters. Now that that's settled, let's answer the next question. Why do I want to make this? I already answered this a little, but the main reason is quite short and simple. I just really want to make something for me for once. Something that is fully within my interests and passions, like working in 2D. 2D is my most favorite way of working, whether that being digitally or traditionally. Now I chose to work digitally because I'm faster that way, and it makes the process just simply more enjoyable for me, and it allows me to make more videos. Even if I would have loved to try to animate the way they used to do, a bit closer to this time era. I also found that 2D works better than 3D, considering the time frame of the story. Another why question I received was why I found it important to talk about Lorelei other than my passion for vampires. Lorelei is relatable in her own way. Her world is turned upside down by others. First, she's turned into a vampire against her will, and now she's being threatened by other vampires who want her to come to dinner for reasons. Life is hard. Sometimes things happen outside of our own control, and that makes us feel all sorts of things. Seeing a character go through hardships as well and overcoming them gives us hope, encouragement, and motivation to get over our problems too if we can. I think that's very important. And so in my opinion, no matter how Lorelei's story will progress, she might just be the encouragement someone else needs. My, I was actually planning to dive into how I work in the programs that I showed in the last video, but this was a bit more important to talk about this time. These are all questions that I have received over many years and are important questions that you could ask yourself when you start creating a bigger project. This time, I promise that in the next video, I will dive deeper into how I work as an animator within Procreate and Procreate Dreams. For now, thank you for watching and have a lovely day.